Hey, so got a little time today, so I figured, and I got the seals in for the vent windows, so I'm gonna take a little time and rebuild the vent windows. I've got new glass. This came from Classic Industries. It's tinted, as you can see. And the first thing I want to do is want to pull out the old glass, which I saved, just to make sure it's the same. Okay. That's pretty incredible. The arch is almost identical. You can see there's a little difference in the middle, but I don't think that'll matter. But yeah, that's a good fit. The top is a little sharper than the original. Hopefully that doesn't bite us, but we'll see. I don't know if you can see that, but when I hold it all together, yeah, it's just a little bit different right in here. I don't think that'll be a big deal. All right, so first thing I gotta do, I got these seals from Classic Industries. And of course I have cleaned up the frames, sealed any rust in the channel with rust inhibiting primer after I sandblasted it, and just kind of primed hit the bare steel parts with epoxy. This could be a little cleaner. I might stop and clean this a little bit first. But okay, so step one is to get the rubber seal into the frame, as far as I understand it. Kind of debated putting the rubber on the window, on the glass first, or in the frame first, and I still may change my mind. We'll see how this goes. All right, the rubber fits nice, pulls in pretty good. Yeah, I think I might switch. I might put this on the glass first, and then see if that'll go in better. All right, let's try that. Just looks like it might be a little bit easier a little easier on the glass if I do it this way. And it probably won't get bunched up in there. All right, we'll peel the sticker off while we're out of here, just so we're not, it's got little pieces that come off. This is very fancy. Very fancy. Okay, that's out of the way. Now, it should press right in here with minimal persuasion. I'm going to hit it with a little bit of silicone just to get it to want to set in and lubricate it a bit. But that's the idea. Now I'm going to take a clamp, try to push it in a couple different directions. I might keep it spread out a little bit until I get it well seated. Not sure if the silicone lubricant will help me or hurt me, but we'll try it once. We'll see what happens. Just put this lubricant on a rag. Spread this on here. That should make it go a little easier. Or it could just make it swell and bind up, which will be awesome. Okay, now let's see. Just pushing it in my hand at first here just to see if I can get it started. Okay, yeah, it's just trying to push itself right back out. I think what I'm going to try to do is push this in first, get it down towards the point, and then pull this back in. So, try a couple of clamps here. See if I can shatter this thing into a billion pieces. Yeah, it just wants to pop right back out. That's crazy. But I'm sure once it grabs, it'll grab. Starting to come into it. See if I can get something up here. All right. Wow, it is not going as easy as I'd hoped. I might try putting the rubber in first again and see if that works a little better. Anyway, let me switch around and try that. Okay, change of venue. Came up to the wood shop. So I was having a heck of a time trying to push this glass in, and it wasn't going in straight. It's just really tight, which, you know, it should be. You don't want that falling out, right? So I cut a little jig where I basically matched all the angles, got it set up so I can clamp it and pull it in directly into the corner. We'll see how it goes. Let me grab some clamps and I'll show you what I'm into. Okay, so that's with the frame in there and a couple of clamps, and I gotta say, this is working great. Assuming the glass doesn't shatter. Try and hold the phone and do this at the same time is not a great setup. But it's clearly pulling in with very little effort. The window is taking the shape very nicely. I got to keep coming in a little bit more, I think. But it's working great. It fits. So and again, the whole idea is you want to pull straight into that corner, which you'll notice is parallel to my clamps. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Let me I'm going to pull it out real quick, see if it stays or if I've got to go in a little further. Doesn't look like I'm quite in all the way. I got a little bit of hangout back here on both sides, but we'll see. Let me put the phone down and try this again. Yeah, that was ridiculously easy with this setup. So I think I'm in all the way. I am very close to touching the metal with the wood down here, that bottom lip. Same on the top. I am going to relieve this, pull it out, and see if it pops. good even pressure. It's through a block of wood, so there's nothing violent about it. Yeah, I don't think that's quite in all the way at the top. Oh, it's close. Well, yeah, it is in all the way. Look at that. When you look at it straight on, that's about where it's supposed to be. Okay, here's the second one going in. Slid right in. I did put a little white lithium grease on the rubber, but it's funny. The wood creaks like the USS Constitution here as this thing pulls in. You can hear it slowly slipping in. And I'm down in the corner, so I'm pretty close to being there. I got about another 1/16 there. Maybe a hair more on the top. I love the creaking. Yeah, okay. That's pretty damn good right there. I think I might cut some reliefs in this piece of wood just for the rubbers to sit in because they stick out a little too far. So that might help it a little bit. But that's good. That worked slick. Now put the frames back together, I guess. Okay, so ready to put these back together. I already did one, just so I wouldn't look silly. The hardest part I found was getting this seal started on this lower rail. It's kind of a pain. Of course, this is the lower rail I rebuilt. But what I learned after trying multiple attempts, if you look back in the rear of this thing, you have two areas where basically where the rail snaps in right here. And there's two little nubs that catch that. So the idea is you get this side started first and then work this side over, I think. Or maybe the other way. Yeah, the other way makes more sense. All right, so I'm gonna just get it back, butt it up against here, best I can. Then I'm gonna kind of roll it, get it hooked in. Like that, keep working it down, just hooking it. Yeah, this one's going a lot better. Hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. Yeah, so now just get that all the way in there. So I've slipped this side of the rail on all the way down. Didn't really find any great videos on how to do this. So that's why I'm kind of trying to do a better job of demonstrating this because it is a pain. All right, so now hold that tightly, flip it over, and then start working the other side in. And if you can see, that rubber now needs to go in and over that rail. What I found is if I use this, it works pretty good. Just to kind of work it down in there. Or maybe start out with a small screwdriver first. I think what I did before. There we go. So just shove that down in until it gets down below that little ear, and then it snaps right in. They don't want this to leak. Okay, and basically when you put this on, this flap kind of goes out over the door skin, and then it seals up against the interior door right here in the channel. So yeah, that's good. All right. Now, next thing I do is slip the window in, which is right here. Okay. And remember, the front is the inside. So when you slide the window through, the rubber, there's a hole here for it, supposed to be anyway. All right, now up here, first thing you have to do is you have a washer that's kind of a D shape with a double D slot. You put that on first. Then your plastic washer. Then slide it down through the hole here. Do another plastic washer, a metal double D. Keep sliding it on. That flat-sided washer, that keeps it from over-rotating. And then the two plastic ones control the friction against the metal plate in the middle. Come on, little fella. There we go. All right, so once you get that on, put the spring on, then the dog ear washer, grab your nut and crank that in. You just want to get tension on the spring. You don't have to go crazy with this. And of course it doesn't want to go. Okay, so tighten this up to a point where you're feeling the spring, right? Okay, so we'll get a little more than that. All right, next step. Next thing you do is you take this, kind of flip it up out of the way, then take this back section, open the window first, take the back section and you put these little ears through the window channel. There we go. All right, so you pop those little ears through. You get that squared away. I think that one's supposed to go behind it. Maybe not. No. All right, that one goes in front like that. Then you flip it over and you just bend these ears up into the little recesses that are in the channel itself. Really wish I could see what the camera's seeing right now, but come on. It doesn't take a ton of force, but it's just a little awkward to do. There we go. Then you take it and you bend it down nice and flat. Try to get it into that little depression there, so it doesn't get in your way in the next step, or the final step. Depression there that you try to just get it into so it doesn't interfere with the window felt. Yeah, it's a great way to do it. And then when you screwdriver slips, you be sure to get an artery. All right, let's see. Come on. It's just a little awkward without the rest of the frame together, but I suppose you could wait till after that, but it's kind of doing it now because this will help you in the next step, I think. All right, now take the big heavy chrome piece. This is the leading edge. I like to put a little bit of red grease in the pivot point just to keep it from corroding. pivot point for the window, right up in there. Let's take a Q-tip. Doesn't need a lot, doesn't have to run out on the glass. Now, feed this up through here like this. Start the pin in. Let's see if I can get this around so you can actually see what I'm doing. Ah, maybe that'll work. Start the window pin in, hopefully. Okay. Then pull down the back here, and there's two Phillips. Oh, come on, baby. It's fighting me. It's getting me in a little trouble. All right, why does it keep, oh, because my rubber's not in the channel yet. All right, so this rubber kind of sits in this channel right here. And if you can kind of get that started at the same time, you will enjoy life more, generally speaking. All right, so now kind of get it lined up. Put this in. There's a couple of screws down here that attach the frame to the base of the big heavy cast piece. I think it's called leading edge or something like that. I don't know. Okay, so here we go. We still recording? Yep, good. All right, so start those screws. Don't go too crazy. Just get them in there. Make sure your pivot is still in the hole up there, and mine is. So far, so good. Now, you can see there's these little metal clips on the back side of this rubber piece. Those have to go down into the channel, and you just square them up and push them in with something flat. I might have my spring back tightened in a little too much here, but we'll see in a second. All right, so I just take this little bar and shove it right down in there. There we go. Slick. And then those little metal clips have dogs on them that bite the sides of the sidewalls of that heavy cast channel. Okay. Now I am going to just tighten this up a little bit more right here, just so everything draws together nice. Now this was the frame that when I took it apart, it was a little tweaked. I had to straighten it out, measure all the angles, compare it to the other one, and tack it back together. So far, so good. Seems to be going together correctly. All right. So I got those two screws in there. They're happy, and my pin came out. Great. All right, get that pin back in. All right, now I'm going to spin it a little bit so I can work on it. Get this down closer. Drop those last couple of dogs in. Usually, yeah, they go right in nice with your finger even. They don't go in hard, but they're hard to come out, I'll tell you that. Now, I got the OEM seal kit, OER. I've heard a lot of noise on the internet about the particular seal kits not coming with those metal clips on the back of that seal. So to be safe, I kept my old ones, but as it turns out, they came with it, so I didn't really need them. Okay, so the last screw goes in up here. You can see right there. There's a very small screw that goes in there. Fortunately, I didn't take it out yet. It's in this bag. And all of these pieces, the little miscellaneous small parts, there's something missing. Yeah, most of these kits are available from Classic Industries. I am super impressed with how much stuff they have. I mean, it's not always the greatest, but at least we have it, right? So, okay, so I've taken that now. I've got that lined up, so I'm pretty happy with it. Now this is the window felt. So all the window felt just snaps in there. But I'm going to start the screw through it first, just so it's in there and ready. Boop. Poke my finger with it, of course. I'm gonna try to get that started. I'm not sure it's, oh, don't think that was supposed to happen. That was supposed to be glued right there, kids. I'll put some glue on it. The other one was all one piece. This one just fell apart. Just as I was bragging about OER. OER. Oh yeah, I'm not up in enough yet. There we go. Okay, so just tighten this screw up. And that's your top seal for the edge of the driver's side window. Then take the piece that just came unglued. I'll re-glue this after. But basically you just slide this down in until it hits that piece, and that's it. And then just push it in and it pops right in nice. There's no, on this particular model, there's no back ears or anything to fold over on this piece, so that's kind of nice. You just kind of work it in until the ridges are below the lip, and that's it. Once that's done, we'll test it a couple times and throw the window open a couple times, make sure it works nicely, and then I will bend over the dog ear, the safety on the spring on the bottom of the nut there, spring nut, just so that it will never come out. I don't say never, but certainly not in my lifetime, hopefully. Okay, that's it. It's pretty much in there once I even it up and make it look less silly. There, nice. Okay. So, yeah, it's not sitting in there quite perfect yet, but it's very close. All right. So that's basically it. Now I just test to make sure the window operates beautifully, and it does. Closes nice. Perfect. I haven't got the handles yet. I'll put those on later. But the last thing to do is literally just crimp off this safety washer here on the nut. Like that. And we got it. That's basically it in a nutshell.